The Battle of Stracathro, also known as the Battle of Inchbare, was a conflict that took place in 1130 in Scotland between the forces of King David I and those of the rulers of Moray, who believed they had a legitimate right to rule. The royal forces, led by Edward, Constable of Scotland, were victorious, with many of the northern forces being slaughtered in the field. Among those killed was Angus, the King of Moray, as well as the earls of Dunbar and Fife. The conflict marked the end of the de facto situation in which there were two rival kingdoms in the north, Scotia and Moray. In the centuries following the battle, groups in Ross and Moray, such as the MacWilliams and the MacHeths, continued to struggle for the kingship of Scotland. These groups were led by various individuals and factions who sought to take the throne by force, often by allying with foreign powers and engaging in campaigns against the crown. One notable participant in these efforts was Malcolm Macheth, son of King Alexander I of Scotland, who fought at the Battle of Stracathro but was later imprisoned. The MacWilliams, in particular, were a persistent and powerful enemy of the Scottish state. Donald Bon MacWilliam is said to have invaded Scotland on 3 separate occasions between 1179 and 1186, and other leaders of the group, such as Guthred MacWilliam and Gillescap MacWilliam, also led campaigns against the crown in the early 13th century. Despite their efforts, these campaigns were ultimately unsuccessful, and the MacWilliam line was extinguished in Angus in the 13th century, bringing an end to their attempts to take the throne. The Battle of Stracathro was a significant event in Scottish history, as it marked the end of the de facto situation in which there were two rival kingdoms in the north. The conflict was also significant in shaping the political landscape of Scotland in the following centuries, as various groups and factions continued to struggle for the kingship of the country. These efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and the MacWilliam line was extinguished in Angus, ending their attempts to take the throne.